Today on The Young and the Restless, Abby referees Ashley and Diane's latest squabble, Billy and Chelsea discuss Cameron's behavior, and Adam tries to keep Sally calm. Diane and Jack kiss at the bar at Neil's Jazz Lounge and gush about their wedding this autumn. Diane wonders if Kyle and Summer will survive their current issues and attend together. Jack says they've survived rough patches before, and they aren't kids and can solve their own problems. He wants to focus on her tonight, not the kids. Suddenly Ashley arrives with Tucker, and the siblings spot one another. Ashley and Tucker order wine and sit at one end of the bar, Diane and Jack at the other. Ashley asks what they should toast to. Tucker says, righting old wrongs. Jack suggests, rekindling old flames. Ashley laughs and recalls when Diane burned down the pool house to trap a man. Diane won't be triggered and toasts to the abundance of overflowing love. Ashley and Diane take jabs back and forth at one another, and Jack asks if they can have one evening without sniping and bickering. Diane and Ashley both say the other started it, and they continue to argue. Eventually, Abby arrives and mutters, "What fresh hell is this?" Abby places herself between the wearing ladies, and Jack explains they were just celebrating. Abby says it looked like they were going to smash each other's head in. Jack says they've just been discussing the wedding, and he and Diane are looking at a September date. Ashley says she and Tucker are aiming for August, and brags theirs is going to be a true extravaganza. Diane eventually suggests to Jack they move closer to the music, and Jack agrees. After Jack and Diane move, Abby calls Tucker and Ashley out for acting like children. Meanwhile, Diane excuses herself to visit the ladies' room. Abby speaks with Jack alone and asks him what is going on with her mother's crazy behaviors regarding Jabbat. Jack is certain Tucker is manipulating her mother, and he's the one she needs to speak to. Jack says if there is a plan to take over Jabbat and protect the company from him, then Tucker is behind it. Jack promises even if Tucker marries Ashley that he'll never get his hands on Jabbat. Abby next speaks with Tucker alone at the bar and asks what he wants from Jack and Diane. Tucker swears he only wants peace and to start anew with her mom. Abby says her mom won't walk away from her family's business, and he's in the perfect position to snatch Jabbat and make it seem like it's her mother's idea. Tucker says he only wants to make Ashley happy and hopes she's not teaching his grandson that people can't change. Ashley returns and wonders what she missed. Abby says, just another round of getting to know your mom's past and future husband. Ashley asks who is winning, but Abby's not sure yet. Jack and Diane return to the bar, and Abby has to get home to her boy. She suggests they all act their own ages and heads out. Jack asks Ashley if they can do as Abby asked, but instead, Ashley suggests to Tucker that they cut out. The Young and the Restless star Sharon Case's best red carpet looks. At Crimson Lights, Billy plants a kiss on Chelsea's cheek as he greets her. He's been looking forward to movie night, but Chelsea explains there is a problem. She says Connor won't come out of his room, so no movie. Billy sits down, and Chelsea worries Connor may have inherited something from either herself or Adam. Billy thinks they shouldn't jump to conclusions. Billy offers to go upstairs and try talking to Connor, so Chelsea wishes him luck. Billy comes back having given it his best shot. He says Connor claimed he had homework and shut the door to his room. Chelsea worries about what is going on in her son's head. He suggests she not play doctor. Perhaps Connor needs someone to talk to. Billy says they'll do everything they can to help him get back to himself. Chelsea vows if Sharon can't help him, she'll find someone who can. She kisses Billy and promises to make this night up to him. He says any night with her is as good as it gets. Adam brings a bag of food to Sally's room to expand the baby's palate and also to get Sally to eat. She's not hungry given Nick was just arrested for assaulting Cameron. Adam isn't surprised as Nick is a punch first and ask questions later type of guy. Sally tells Adam this isn't the conversation to have with a woman who has preeclampsia. He says it's all part of his plan to get her to eat. She again insists she's not hungry, so Adam decides to put on an audiobook for the kid. Sally wonders why he's working so hard to prove himself. He says he's trying to prove himself to a girl who could turn out to be the love of his life, making it clear that he's talking about their baby girl. Sally asks what his plan is down the road, to polish up McCall and hand it off to his children. Adam reveals he plans to take back what is his, Newman Media. At Sharon's place, Chance tells a frantic Sharon they have men looking for Faith. Nick arrives having just made bail and asks what is going on. Sharon agonizes, "It's Faith, he took our baby." Nick asks what happened and how did Cameron know where Faith would be. Sharon says nobody on the outside knew anything about the flight, and she just booked it today. Nick says Cameron had to have been in the house. Nick starts searching everywhere for a bug and screams that he knows what Cameron did, and that he will find him. He eventually locates the bug behind a photo, and shows it to Sharon and Chance. Sharon speaks into the bug, and tells Cameron to bring her daughter back home. Sharon cries that Cameron knows what they're doing, their every move, yet they still don't know what he wants. Nick does. Cameron told him that he thinks he can make Sharon fall in love with him again. Sharon gasps that she was never in love with him to begin with. Chance puts out APBs on Cameron and his vehicle, and then tells Nick and Sharon to stay put as Cameron will eventually contact them with a time and place to meet. Chance heads out to go examine Cameron's room at the club for any clues. Chance leaves and Sharon sobs in Nick's arms. Later, Nick blames himself for Faith's kidnapping, but Sharon says this is not his fault. Sharon says they need to focus on the matter at hand and wait for a phone call or some other form of communication from Cameron. Sharon walks out of the room, and Nick makes a call to Sally. In her suite, Sally answers her phone and asks Nick to tell her what's going on. He says he got out of jail, and Sally realizes he's trying to keep things vague for her sake. She says she needs to know these things, she has FOMO. Nick explains her FOMO needs to take a back seat for the next few months, and asks her to put Adam on the phone. Sally hands the phone to Adam, who tells Nick that Sally's fine and asks how things are. Nick tells him to pretend he's not hearing bad news and to keep this to himself. He reveals to Adam that Cameron has taken Faith, so he's going to take care of Cameron. Adam says he'll take care of Sally while he handles the issue. Eventually, Sally eats the food Adam brought, and she wonders where it's from. She tries to look at the receipt, but he hides it and says it's his secret. He says he doesn't want her and Nick to find it and make it their new spot. She says it was delicious, and he calls it what New York tastes like to him. However, she wonders if he's trying to distract her from her blood pressure, or this guy from Nick and Sharon's past. Adam tells her that she's not supposed to be worried about anything right now. Sally knows he's not telling her something, but she's too tired to argue, so she's going to rest her eyes. Adam supports that and tucks her in. She asks him to wake her when Nick calls, and he promises. Adam watches Sally sleep and fires off a text. Back at Sharon's, she knows Faith has a guardian angel looking out for her. Nick agrees, and notes everything about Faith is a miracle. Nick says she's Sharon's daughter, she's a fighter, and she'll come back to them. Nick tells Sharon that she needs to use that degree she fought for and get into Cameron's head. He suggests she treat Cameron as a textbook case and asks what he will do next. Sharon says he'll play mind games, he'll try and get Faith to believe his lies just like he did with her. Chance arrives at Cameron's suite to look around. He digs through Cameron's travel bag and finds something unsettling in a leather folder. Meanwhile, Sharon receives a photo on her phone and screams. Dropping the phone, she wails. How he could do this to her baby? Nick looks at it and sees there is also a message. He reads it out loud. Cameron asks Sharon to come alone, to the same motel, the same room where they once made memories, and will make new ones. Sharon breaks down as she realizes he is referring to the motel where she thought she killed him. Nick puts the phone down to comfort Sharon, who is in hysterics.